Welcome back, guys. I decided to kind of just trade by myself. This is a continuation of the backtesting series. This is literally coming off of the last video in the backtesting series. I think it's video 9 or 10, probably 10. I'm not too sure, but it's all in a playlist. It's all in order. So if you want to see what was happening prior to this, then you can go check it out. With that being said, I was having a really rough time in the month of August, and I just got a win. Coming off of that loss I got on Friday, I'm up 3%, nearly 4%. Not really the 6% plus I'm looking to see. And in fact, I'm actually going to be done with this session, I believe, in 6 days. So I'm going to have to start a new session. I might just do a long-term session and do 2020, I don't know, like 2029 or 2018 to 2025 or something like that. Because I do need like long-term results to see what my actual win rates are and stuff like that. But anyways, I just want to go through how I got this trade. As you can see, I was having a very hard time because we weren't really moving. We were kind of retracing. But obviously as the days are like printing, you're not really knowing what the current draw on liquidity is. I think I really need to get better at like predicting what price can do, because we did take this high, which can either mean a new phase of price, and I guess the new phase of price in this case was retracement. And so maybe I should have anticipated that. I need to get better at that. So we went from external to internal, and hopefully in the next coming days, although this session will be finished soon, we'll go from internal to external, and we've been generating liquidity, so we'll have a lot of liquidity to aim for, essentially. But just coming into the day, I believe that our draw was here. We've been going down, so I was just like, okay, we're probably just going to go down. So I had a bearish bias, right? And we were also respecting bullish PD arrays, so I was like, okay, maybe we could see a sweep of here. And we actually did see a sweep on ES, so that's an SMT, which I actually didn't notice until just now. I did have an SMT, just not this one. But yeah, there's an SMT here. And we had one right here. So, right there, like that. So yeah. I did not see this on the 4 hour, but going out to 1 hour, as you can see, I did have an SMT here. And then not only that, this SMT actually started in 5. I actually could have seen that. Oh my god. I really need to like make sure that I'm checking like these time frames before I'm doing anything. So yeah, we had an SMT from like literally London that I didn't see until just now, looking back at this. But it doesn't matter. Coming into New York, we had our own SMT. So yeah, so I marked out this, I guess I didn't use the 1 hour bearish fair value gap, but we did have another fair value gap lower. Didn't notice we had a 1 hour fair value gap either. Wow. What am I doing? So, but anyways, I used this 30-minute fair value gap, and we never even saw that high on ES. But NASDAQ tapped into it. I saw the SMT. I can label this. This is an SMT. I feel like I prefer to do these small recaps. I think they're a little bit more digestible, but I know some people probably want to see the full thought process with actually taking a trade rather than like afterwards. But anyways, yeah, so SMT. So then I went down to the 5-minute, I guess. Technically, no, I went down to the 3-minute. So then I saw this SMT, and I was just like, okay, we had to change the state. Immediately I saw the change in state. I was just like, you know what? I've been getting pretty annoyed lately with the fact that like I've been like, don't get me wrong, waiting for confirmation can save you a lot, but I've just been pretty fed up with price like giving me a change in state and then like literally going back and taking me out, and I was just been like so pissed. So I literally, the candle went down here, and I literally was just like, you know, I'm gonna market order this shit. So I just marketed ordered from here. As you can see, we printed this candle here, tapped me in. We actually ended up coming back to it. We never even saw the change in state. And as you can see, ES just like was freaking all over the place. Jesus Christ. So the more cleaner delivery was kind of on NASDAQ, but we went up here again. Never even saw this change in state again. So if I didn't market order, I would have never been in this trade. So I marketed order, and I targeted the targets down here. Essentially. Yeah, so we had we targets down here, and I targeted all this. I will say though, when I did enter on this, I think it was actually this candle I entered on, but this candle hadn't closed yet, and it came back like here, and I was like, oh frick. So I was really hoping it would come back down. Sometimes you have to wait until your candles close, but like sometimes I'm just like impatient, because the thing with FX replay is just like, if, like, for example, if you go forward in time, you're watching this candle print, the next candle could just be like already have, printed. It could be like all the way down here. It's not like a gradual move back and forth like in real trading, so I have to be kind of careful in a sense, or like anticipate what it's going to do. I could have went down to the 1 minute, but that's not to say that the 1 minute couldn't have like just dumped as well really quickly. So that's how I entered the trade and got my 1-2. It's a little bit more than 1-2. This would have been a $100 trade, but I did take some of it off. I think it was did I say $100 trade? It would have been a $1,000 profit. I think $1,000 to $200 profit. Yeah, I think it was 1,200, but I did take a partial, so it ended up only being $900. So you do have to keep that in mind when you take a partials. But yeah, the only sad part is I have 2 more days in the month, and I only am at like 3+%, which is good. It's not bad. I think I'm making 3% more consistently now, but I still want to be able to make that 6% plus and more consistently. I want to make 6% more consistently than I make like 3% consistently, right? 3% is actually relatively easy for me. Making that 6% is what's hard, and I think it's just a matter of like, I'm not willing to risk full percentage on these trades that do happen to work out, and I'm willing to risk full percentage on these trades that do not work out. So I think if I just consistently took 1%, I would be able to easily hit that 6% mark. I think that's probably the best way to go, because if I get stopped out, I lose 500, but if I get a dub, I think that's my issue. I don't think it's the fact that I can't get 6%. What am I saying? I don't think it's the fact that I can't get 6%. I think it's the fact that I'm just not willing to put on the full risk for trades that I think can work out. And if I think a trade might not work out, then maybe I shouldn't take it, you know what I mean? So I think that's really the issue here. Because if I had gone full risk on these 2 trades, I would have been probably at 6%. So that's really my issue. Because there's this other guy that I watch, and he makes like 6% plus like pretty consistently, but he always risks 1%. So he doesn't like change his risk most times. So I think that's my problem. It's not that I can't get the 6%, it's just that I'm not willing to put on the full risk for these trades that I think will work out. You know what I mean? And I guess on the other side of that is like, if I don't think it's going to work out, then I probably shouldn't put on the trade anyways. But as you can see, August was pretty rough for me. I barely took any trades, but the good thing is that my winners do outweigh my losers, as can see by my percentage. I had 2 break-even trades, and that's what that's looking at. Right now, Tuesday's my worst day trading, I guess. Mondays are not bad. Fridays are not bad, but as I said, Fridays and Mondays, as you can see, they're more of my struggle days. I do pretty bad on Tuesday, which is surprising, but I do freaking phenomenal on Wednesday apparently, and phenomenal on Thursdays. But yeah, I think going from here, I just really need to work on like reading the bias better. I'm not doing a bad job at it, but I think I could be doing a better job. So yeah, I think I just need to pay attention more to the phases of price, and like, for example, right, like in terms of the phases of price, like anticipating what price will do. If we go back up to the daily, right, we took this high here, and usually after you take a relevant high, we can go back, we can change into a new phase of price. So we went from expansion into retracement. And if I had anticipated this retracement, maybe I wouldn't have had a hard time, because we went down, then we went up, down, then up, down, right? It's consistent, like really like respecting bearish order flow, basic market structure, right? So I probably could have anticipated that if I'd noticed like, oh, we tapped into this high, we're going lower, you know what I mean? So maybe I wouldn't have had as hard of a time. And so we went from external to internal, and next internal to external. But yeah, I don't have that many more days on this. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it out. I only have like 6 more days. I don't know if I'm gonna, or 5 more days technically. I don't know if I'm gonna just finish this out and do like trade recaps for the rest of this session, and then just start a new session and go from there. But right now the stats aren't bad. I just, again, I want to see that 6% more consistently, so that's kind of what I'm working on. But my stats have gotten really better. I was previously struggling to get 3% or more a month, and to see like a huge jump from 8R and then again making at least 3% plus in August is like a huge jump for me. I believe we can only get better than from here. So yeah, wish me luck. If you have any questions, just let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.